13th of May. Happy Mercury. So I'm here to kind of give you a quick forecast on what's going on in the skies. I'll keep it kind of simple and sweet. So the sun is in Taurus, the Venus is in Gemini, Mercury is in Gemini, the moon and Saturn is in Aquarius, Jupiter is in Capricorn, Mars and Neptune is in Pisces, Uranus is in Taurus, Pluto is in Capricorn, Black Moon Lilith is in Aries, and we have 3 planets that are retrograde right now. That is Venus, which is in Gemini, Saturn, which is in Aquarius, Pluto, which is in Capricorn. Also, the moon is in Aquarius right now, but it will be going void, of course, tomorrow at 10:02 a.m. It will be void, of course, all day until 9:23 p.m., and then it will be entering Pisces. Void, of course, for those who do not know, is kind of like that in-between stage before it gets to its next sign. So, for example, it's in Aquarius right now, and then it will be going void, of course, kind of transitioning to the next, that in-between stage before it gets to the very next sign, which is Pisces. Sometimes during void, of course, moon, you can experience sporadic things or things that kind of go not as planned, things that kind of happen differently. So it's kind of best to either be sporadic or kind of not go with your regular plans during this time. If you go with your regular plans, maybe try to add something in it that makes it sporadic, that kind of not makes it your usual plan, but your usual plan, if you get what I mean. Also, please excuse the noise. I'm outside recording, so I'm sorry in advance. These planets being retrograde, I just wanted to let everybody know to stay positive. It doesn't have to be negative energy. You can move through any energy in a positive way no matter what. The worst thing can happen to you. It is up to you to see it as the worst thing or to see it as a better thing or a good thing. So you always have to find the positive in the negative, or should try to make that a habit for yourself. So these planets are in retrograde. I will say, if you do have a planet in retrograde in your birth chart, it's known or said to be known that you will be kind of prone to these energies already. You will kind of, I guess it will kind of give you strength in a way, is kind of how I see it, because you were born in retrograde, so this is kind of your natal energy. And now that the planets are in retrograde, it's like, oh, you used to retrograde, you know what I'm saying? You used to this, basically, so you ready to take it head on. What's up? So don't think of these planets as being negative. It doesn't have to be. So with Venus, Saturn, and Pluto in retrograde, it's kind of gonna give an opposite effect. So just in case you don't know what retrograde means, let me just say this. So from Earth, we see the planets in a certain way. Everybody knows that the planets orbit a certain way. We see it from a view versus the actual orbit, if you understand that. So how we see these planets, it looks like they're moving backwards, but they are really not. They're actually on a different path. They're kind of traveling a different path, or even rotating in a still motion instead of rotating while rotating, if you kind of get what I mean. So it kind of gives that effect of moving backwards. Similarly to when you are looking out of the window, or when you were younger and you were looking out the window and you couldn't see the entire car, or you take a glance and you see a big truck out the window, but you can't see anything outside of just one piece of view of the truck. Sometimes it looks like the truck is moving backwards when you're moving forward at a certain speed because of the angle of how you see the truck. I really hope y'all understand what I mean. If not, I really hope that it happens so you can see it like, oh, I see now. So basically, if you ever looked up out the window at a certain time while a certain car was like beside you, and it looked like it was moving backwards, but it's beside you the whole time, probably moving the same speed and everything. But that's kind of like what retrograde is. So normally with the planets, when it's moving in its regular motion, it has a outward effect. So the effect kind of affects us in a different way. So while they're in retrograde, it's similar to the opposite effect. So instead of it being outward, it's kind of pointing more inward. So I feel like during this time, it's just meant for us to kind of be focused within. And if we don't willingly do it, I feel like it will force us to do it. So retrograde is kind of different. in my opinion. I feel like if it's pushing it back in, the energy back in, is like, that is like a similar, how should I say this? It's kind of like force when you think about it. Because when you're projecting something outward, and I can just receive it how I want to, I kind of see that being more subtle, more positive, not really positive, but like passionate, or just, how should I say, not passionate, nice, or here, you have an option to take this energy or not, kind of thing. But when it's moving inward, when it's like forcing it inward, I guess, it's like it's putting it inside of you. And it's like, when you think about it, do I have a choice? You know? So it's like, do I have a choice? So I just feel like you won't be able to choose through this. So I just feel like it's kind of taking the positive, or seeing the positive in the negative. So the negative would be, man, these planets is trying to force all this energy on me. The positive is, okay, so what positives can I get out of this energy? What are these planets trying to force on me, or why? Kind of going through the motions, going through the transition or transformations that I say. So Pluto is transformation. Saturn is the planet of time, love, or age. Venus is the planet of love. So sometimes with Venus in retrograde, it seems that your love life or relationships, communications, anything of that nature with any loved ones sometimes can be shaken up, or even more intense, if you will. During this time, you might see more truth in your relationship. You might see things in a different light as far as your love life. Saturn, time, age, and truth. In reverse, I kind of see that being, Saturn is the planet of time, so I kind of see that as being like the mature planet. Time and age and truth, like the mature person, in my opinion, of course. But with this being in retrograde, I see it as being childish. The opposite of time. Possibly either less time or short-tempered. It just kind of depends on how you see it. Age, if it's mature age, then I can see that being kind of immaturity. So maybe more childish behavior, irresponsible behavior, kind of things along that line. Pluto, as far as transformation, I kind of see it as it's still transformation, but instead of transformation for the outside, more so transformation on the inside. It of course can mean different things to different people, so please don't think that what I'm saying is gold. Astrology is very tricky. These planets and astrology is like, they have their general meanings, but at the end of the day, it kind of is based on how you see it for your own self, because everybody is different. Everybody's energies are different. It's just so broad. So just keep that in mind. If you ever want to know some more about something, just look it up, Google it. Hell, they will definitely give you more information. So if you ever are sparked by something, say you heard something from somewhere, you don't have to have all the information from that one source. You could take that piece of information that sparked your curiosity or sparked your whatever it might have sparked, and take that and go do your own research somewhere else, or go along your journey and just gather all the research that you can. So don't think that everything that I'm saying is what it is. I'm kind of giving you a very, very brief summary. Please understand that it's so much more to this. I would like to end this with some motivation of, don't run from the journey that you're on. Try to find the positive in the negative. Things might come up that might be doesn't feel so great. You might be sad, angry, going through a transition, but just understand that transitions are for a reason. It's meant to transit you somewhere, to get you to the next place, the next location, the next step in your journey. A journey is never ending, really, in my opinion. it keeps going. You always learn. You're always in a new step, like every day. Even if you're in the same household, I'm sure I will hope that you know something more that day than you did yesterday. If you don't, you might want to start trying to do that, trying to grow yourself, trying to, I guess, be better, do something different every day, grow yourself every day, try to be better every day. Is that all I have? I would just say whatever happens during this time, because these planets are going to be in retrograde for a while. This is like so crazy to me. And I think a fourth planet is supposed to go into retrograde later on this week, I believe, possibly. Yeah, 4 planets in retrograde. That sounds pretty powerful if you ask me. So I would just say, man, use this time. Like, use this time as a positive energy, because I really do feel the positive energy myself. So I would just say, try to get in tune with it, Don't look at it as negative. Try to find the positive. Okay, what am I meant to learn? What's holding me back from my next step? What do I need to do before I get to my next step? So I will end on that note. I hope everybody has a wonderful, great, vibey day. And I was going to kind of give a motivational tarot card or oracle card, but I don't have my cards with me and I'm outside. So maybe I will come back later with that. So we'll see. But I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And I do thank you for listening. If you have any suggestions, comments, or anything, you could definitely leave them below. Questions, you can leave them below. But everybody, enjoy these energies. Enjoy your transformation. Look at it as positive. You might experience some people acting out of the ordinary. Look at them as retrograde. Okay, you retrograde. I'm about to keep it moving on a positive note. Don't let them trigger you. Do not let them make you go off. None of that. Okay, you might feel it. Try to stop yourself. Say retrograde. Remind yourself of the retrograde. Okay, almost like don't let the retrograde trick you. Okay, stay strong, stay calm, and have a good day.